Okay, let's talk about what we're going to do today. As you might remember, I had this baby running, not perfectly, but running, and I had an oil leak, right down in that valley pan there. So what I decided to do this morning is to throw all of my efforts into fixing that oil leak, which means the manifold's got to come back off, valley pan's got to come back off. I need to coat everything down real good with some of that red gasket stuff. Hang on a second, I gotta spray myself with these dang mosquitoes. I find it's really hard to concentrate on what you're trying to say while you got mosquitoes gnawing your arm off. So what I was trying to say is I'm gonna drain the fluid, antifreeze out of here, take the manifold back off, take the valley pan off, put the rubber sealant stuff all back around the valley pan. Of course I have to do the manifold again, put it all back on there. And I tend to think that stuff works best if you let it sit a while and kind of harden up, because it does sort of gel and rubberize up. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make any movies while I'm doing this. I'm just going to leave the camera off, because you've already seen me take that off and put it back on once. And believe it or not, it takes more time to nurse the camera along, keep the batteries hot in it, and keep it running and focused and all this other crap. Whereas I can probably rip it off and get it back on there pretty quick if I just go at it steady. So I'm going to do that, and then while it's sitting, I'll probably cut the grass. And then if I got time today, I'm going to yank that motorcycle seat off, because I want to see if I can modify it to get me closer to the ground. And then the other thing I'm going to do today, if I have time, is readjust the valves, and I'll tell you why. On this car, I adjusted the valves by going to the harmonic balancer down there. There should be a mark on that marks top dead center. This car doesn't have a notch in it like a Chevrolet. What it did have is what looked like a little tiny bit of an old 60-year-old patch of white paint, like somebody had marked it with a white paint, but there was no notch on that harmonic balancer anywhere. And basically what I did was I got the number one cylinder all the way up. I made sure the two valves was closed. I matched up that paint notch and worked from there. But them valves could still be off. So what I'm going to do after everything else is done is pop the valve covers back off and set them valves with the motor running. That way I kind of eliminate that whole process of turning it to top dead center and turning it 180 degrees and all that stuff. I may or may not get all of that done today. Of course, we got to put the boat away too. We went up to the lake yesterday and had a real big time. Just kind of, you know, nothing fancy, just sitting in the water having a picnic on the lake. It was real fun. So that's sort of my plan for the day, and I'll cut the camera off. I will cut it back on after I finish that part, and you can watch whatever else I do today. But like I say, I just work so much faster with it off that it's easier for me to put the camera down and get that work done, and then get right back to whatever else I'm doing after that. So, see y'all. I love my little camera handle, by the way. That's just hugely better. And I really like my little stand I made that I showed y'all yesterday. I don't know if y'all noticed, but when I was working on that distributor on that engine, I was able to, basically what I did was just sit y'all, I can't remember how now, but just sit you right up in here somewhere on the motor, and it just worked out. So it was a good angle to see that. So that was good. Okay, boy, it's real active discipline for me to shut up and not put everything on video. So I'm shutting up now and not putting everything on video. What a beautiful day we have here. Holy cow. This is the kind of day that makes you glad you're alive.